Hi, we're here at Luciano's of Chicago in Nassau, Bahamas, and I've got Damien Forsyth here with me and Austin Evers. And what we're going to talk about is alternatives to doing things online that are related to selling physical goods. Usually when someone talks about doing business online, you think of selling a book or selling a physical product. In the Bahamas, there are several things that make that a very difficult thing to do and a very unprofitable thing to do if you can do it at all. There are many people who have tried to do this. A paradigm, we have people that walk in our door quite frequently and they want to do this, and we're here to say that that's not what the internet, that's not the only thing you can use the internet for. That's not the only thing that can be useful to you. So today we've got these two guys. They're very well versed on the subject, and hopefully we're going to give you a few ideas on alternatives to the whole sell physical products online business model.
Yeah. So you can sell information, for instance, online. This is what we've been talking about all week. You can sell informational products. There are models online that work other than just, as you said, sell the physical product to an end user, to someone. I mentioned this earlier, but you can make a website that is information-based, becomes very popular, and then run advertisements on that site. You can charge a subscription for the content on your site, which is usually based on unique content. If it's an informational product, say it's something you know how to do better than someone else, some new form of yoga, for instance, you can sell that as a product, and that's a virtual product. It's not a physical product. You're not selling hats or shoes or whatever. So information is an opportunity. Selling that as a product as opposed to just the physical good.
Another thing that many companies here can put in place immediately is just booking reservations for things before people get here, because many people that are watching this are somewhat related to the tourism industry. They're not really using the internet to the extent that people in other countries have and continue to very profitably as well. If you can have your book, your boat, booked out for the day 3 months in advance, hey, that's fantastic. Why wait until the day of and then you have to go out and try and get people to come and pay you $20 to take them out on the boat, or parasailing or snorkeling or anything else? That's something that the internet can very easily be used for.
Yeah. Well, your point is very valid, and on the information products where we started, as a Bahamian citizen, and someone lives in the Bahamas, studied abroad and traveled and all that, but I'm a Bahamian living here in the Bahamas. And as you said, it's very challenging for physical products. So even if I was an American based in the US, I would still be in the information product business because I think it's so profitable. Yeah. And the profit margins of some of these products are ridiculous. 80% gross profit margins. It's crazy.
Higher.
And they're so scalable if you're selling an ebook or a course and things like this. But even more so in the Bahamian perspective is you can live in the Bahamas and you don't have to deal with logistics, distribution, drop shippers. You can sell a digital product being based here strictly in the Bahamas, and that's very attractive. And to a Bahamian audience, you don't get into maybe tax implications by doing business abroad because you're selling a virtual product which is based on a Bahamian server, and depending how you take the payments, this gets very technical, and I don't have all those answers, but that is one of the appeals of doing business in the Bahamas, to take advantage of our tax structure.
Even one thing I'd like to bring up is even selling physical products. There's a way to sell physical products. Say you're a creative and you have a good idea for a T-shirt. There are resources online where you can create a virtual store. And these companies will hold the sweatshirt or the T-shirt or the water bottle or whatever it may be. They hold all the inventory and they sell it on demand. One resource that what I use for one of my online stores is called Cafe Press. It's cafepress.com. So it's completely virtual, it's completely separate. If you've got a good idea and you're from Timbuktu, you can still sell it to people in the States, you can still sell it to Canadians, and never even touch any inventory. So they're...
Which in a way is really a fantastic idea, and what he's saying is that it can be easier for you as a Bahamian to sell internationally than it is to sell locally. That's a pretty, that's an interesting concept to wrap your head around.
It's kind of ironic, but it's
yeah,
true.
It really is true. So I guess the big question is, we have these ideas, what do you do next? Best thing to do, write your idea down, share it with a few trusted individuals. You never want to give your idea to everybody, someone else ends up doing it. Find a good web developer, find yourself a good team, share with them, see what's involved with putting it online, and go from there.
And, before we close up, speaking about information products, I was watching a video of Eben Pagan. Again, these internet markets we spoke about, you never quite know who knows who, but Eben Pagan is one of the large ones.
Yeah.
And he's speaking about the information business, and he says, he does 29 million gross a year, and I have acquaintances who know him and vouch for him, so he seems like a very credible guy. And you're speaking of the university system and the bureaucracy of the university system, they just cannot keep up with the speed of information. And if you look at the hierarchy of needs, we're sitting here in the Bahamas, which is, for lack of a better word, an American, English, Caribbean society with a fairly high standard of living. So we're not worrying about food and clothing and things like this anymore to a significant extent. What do we want? We want self-actualization. We want information. We want knowledge. We want to improve ourselves. We want to improve our family and our community. And we also just want
some money.
Money and entertainment and more knowledge, and these are information products come into play, and you have individual cowboy entrepreneurs filling that void, which we used to go to university for. I mean, I have a degree in e-commerce, 4-year degree in business and e-commerce. I graduated in 2002. Now that is totally useless.
Yeah.
It's not useless, but the stuff I learned then is obsolete. I learned how to think, and I learned how to think about the industry, but every couple of years it's kind of new information. So you can step into the industry, and if you have some information which is current, you will then step to the front of the line, because who was an expert yesterday is now obsolete if they hadn't kept going. So it's a pretty meritocratic in that way.
So I guess basically what we're saying is not only know what you want to do, but you need to understand how things work right now. And in order to do that, you need to connect with some of the people that Damien's mentioning here. Just go online, just Google, find people that are already doing what you're doing or you want to do. Find people that have the knowledge that they can share with you, and many times it's free. It really is. So we hope everything we've said here, has been helpful and help you to reach your goals. Thanks a lot.
Absolutely.